Greetings, great people. Thank you so much for joining our virtual community as we celebrate the accomplishments of the Metropolitan Peace Academy's 5th Outreach Cohort and our very first cohort of case managers. My name is Vanessa DeReef, and I have the honor of serving as the Director of Training at MPA. The Metropolitan Peace Academy launched in 2018 to professionalize street outreach and the community violence prevention fields. Since its inception, the MPA boasts over 94 graduates, with 100% of them being Black and brown men and women from across the city of Chicago. The true essence of MPA is the manner in which we build community, taking time to unpack the baggage, taking time to build bridges, and creating a collective network across the city of Chicago, all in an effort to build the beloved community. The vulnerabilities displayed at MPA and the unity established among our MPA graduates sets an example, an illustration for all of Chicago that Black and brown unity and Black and brown cooperation and collaboration is the goal. It's a microcosm of unified voices working together to counter the narrative that plagues our city and that has plagued our communities for far too long. No one could have predicted in January what we would face over the next 18 weeks in our world, in our nation, throughout our city, and in our communities. The 35 men and women we celebrate here today demonstrate what it means to be resilient, demonstrate what it means to be resolute. In the face of 2 pandemics, our city's street outreach community continue to prove why they are the value add in this work. During the shelter in place, our cohorts worked tirelessly to stop the spread of the virus we know as COVID-19, as well as the virus we know as violence. Shifting to our virtual platform called for a shift in our weekly rhythm. Instead of meeting 2 times each week, we joined in virtual community 4 times each week. It was important that we connected more frequently, and it is reflected in the level of connection, the amount of authentic respect, and as always, the communities established within C5 and CM1. As a larger community, America has been a powder keg for quite some time. The recent murder of George Floyd pulled a fresh scab from the unhealed wounds left by the recent murders of Imad Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Aubriana Jefferson, and as I deliver this message, new names are added to this list. The constant displays of dehumanization contribute to the mental scars left by the historical trauma that continue to haunt Black and brown communities that as a society we have failed to properly treat. But as a professional learning community, MPA offers a new antiseptic. The year 2020 has indeed shed light on our country's deepest vulnerabilities, highlighting health disparities and racial divides, resulting in worldwide protests in support of Black Lives Matter, because when Black Lives matter, we all matter, and that is the challenge we face. Our Black and brown communities are faced with a huge task of forgiveness and reconciliation. And as we highlight the accomplishments of our resilient cohorts, Cohort 5 and CM1, let us be reminded of what we have started here at MPA. For I believe that what we have started here at MPA has not been in vain. Our daily efforts to build the beloved community has created a movement in our city like never before, and we must not lose focus. Moving forward, let us collectively build our communities. Let's celebrate the growth of the vision and remember the impact we seek to have on our city, on our communities, and upon one another. And as we build our communities, let us remember that Black and brown communities, we are better together. And at MPA, we will always believe that. Now join me as we celebrate those 35 men and women, those outreach workers and case managers who have successfully completed their journey here at MPA, coming from our 15 partner organizations known as CP4P, who have all come together since 2018 to create a standard approach to this work that we know as violence prevention and create this impact across the city of Chicago. So please join me this evening, and I hope that you enjoy our virtual program. And please remember our collective impact. 1, 2, 3, boom. And now let's welcome our CEO of Metropolitan Family Services, Mr. Rick Estrada.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rick Estrada, and I'm the President and CEO of Metropolitan Family Services. On behalf of our board, on behalf of the Peace Initiatives, really on behalf of our city, I want to congratulate you from graduating from the Metropolitan Peace Academy. I know this graduation is not what you intended for early on, and certainly we'll do it again when we can all be together. But thanks for hanging in there and going from a live session to what has become an online session. I want to thank all the instructors, especially Vanessa DeReef, for her tremendous work on this, and all the staff of the partner agencies, the facilitators, the teachers, the instructors that made this all possible. Thank you all. Now more than ever, your work is critical to the health and safety of our city. You are already doing heroic work in your communities. And on top of that, the COVID-19 stay-at-home order happened and you became health workers. And then, as the protest over the murder of Mr. George Floyd happened, you were activated to help bring peace to our neighborhoods. I want to personally thank you for that. I want to speak specifically about the efforts to divide and conquer. In this country and over the history of the world, that tactic has been used so effectively to divide groups that are marginalized, to divide groups that have been underinvested historically, again, today in Chicago and the country, but across the timeline of history. Let's not allow any forces to divide us. We've worked too hard. The cohorts that came before you worked toward understanding, worked toward collaboration in the Black, brown, and other communities. Your work to continue that is critical. I ask you to keep it going, to bring peace, to bring safety, to bring your energy to make sure that there is healing in our communities. We are committed to racial justice for all, and specifically in this moment, to Black lives. That is our commitment in Metropolitan, it's our commitment at the Peace Initiatives, and I believe it is the commitment of all of our partners. So again, congratulations for the tremendous work you are doing on behalf of our communities. I look forward to seeing you in person and congratulating you once again. Have a great evening, and I hope you get to celebrate with social distancing with your family and friends. Thanks again for doing all the work you do on behalf of our communities. Peace.
Hello again, everyone. The time has come to present the awards to our outreach cohort and our first case manager cohort. Our very first category, professionalism, centers around preparedness and readiness, and those who uphold the 14 MPA standards. Those individuals who exhibited these qualities over the course of the 18 weeks from our outreach cohort are Ramon Hooks from Roseland Ceasefire, Ms. Pamela Givens from Institute Nonviolence Chicago, Mr. Wilbert King from Claretian Associates, and Mr. Donnell Gardner from Chicago Cred. Congratulations. One thing that was very unique about Cohort 5, as we all know, each cohort has its own personality. And one unique aspect of Cohort 5 was when we were on the campus of Kennedy King by 9 o'clock or 8:45, we may have 20 individuals in our space when we started at 9:30. And so we would begin to build community as early as 8:45. And so when we build community, we would check in with one another. We would make sure that everyone, is doing okay. But these individuals never missed a class. These individuals never missed an in-person session or when we transition to the virtual community. And so I want to make sure that, we always talk about to be early is to be on time. And we always want to highlight those professional strategies or those professional qualities when they are exhibited. And so as a result, I would like to highlight the accomplishments of Mr. Ramon Hooks and Miss Marva Modaliste for your perfect attendance throughout the course of 18 weeks. We know there were some unexpected occurrences that have happened, but at the same time, you both have remained resilient through it all. And thank you so much for your commitment to being on time and having perfect attendance at MPA. Our next category, The Voice is Yours. It really talks about just that. It really talks about those individuals, or this award is presented to those individuals who really expressed themselves over the course of 18 weeks and stood on their truth. As you all know, we have very candid conversations at the Metropolitan Peace Academy, and we want to applaud and uphold those who continue to empower each other as we stand on the platform of peace. Those individuals are Brother Imad Saadeh from SWAP, Brother Samuel Red Goodman from Institute Nonviolence Chicago, and Brother Darrell Dakers from One Northside. Congratulations. Now, as we are giving these awards, please make sure that you send some love in the chat to our individuals. They worked very, very hard over the course of 18 weeks. They've been fighting 2 pandemics and their own individual and personal struggles. So let's make sure we continue to empower them. Our next category, Lean Into Your Discomfort, talks about those individuals or highlights those individuals who have really grown and blossomed through their time at the academy simply by maybe sharing a word of a story or two or something that was really close and personal to them. And we want to make sure that we let them know how much we value their voice and value their story and that we recognize their growth. Miss Carolyn Freeman from Project Hood. We would also like to recognize Miss Cierra McGee from Also. Mr. Luis Salcedo from Institute Nonviolence Chicago. And Eric Rice from UCAN. Great job, good people. Continue to grow. Our next category is the Most Improved Award. This particular award is a combination of both the Lean Into Your Discomfort Award and the Voice is Yours Award. And it really goes to the person who exudes how they have recognized how much they have grown personally and professionally during their time at MPA. When he first came into the academy on the very first day, he would sit with his back to the facilitator and to community, but never out of the conversation. He was always in tune. And as a facilitator and a director, I noticed that. And so I began to watch this young man. And so I just want to recognize the growth and the trust that Carlos Wilson from Roseland Ceasefire has bestowed upon the academy and the value that he brought to C5, and job well done. Thank you so much, Carlos. Congratulations. Our final award for Cohort 5 is the Resilience Award. This particular award, as you all know, this cohort was faced with COVID-19 impact and the impact of a lot of different uprisings, including the Black Lives Matter current movement that we have throughout our country. This individual during those times remained resilient, having been impacted by COVID-19. Having been impacted by the virus took him out for a minute, but it didn't keep him down. He remained in constant communication, and then he came back and he was resilient, completing his time at the academy. And so at this time, we would like to award the Resilience Award to Mr. Marcus Mitchell from INVC. We all call him Moon, for his resilience and for demonstrating what it means to bounce back in the time of strife and struggle. Congratulations, Moon. Make sure you're sending that love in the bottom of the chat now. Just want to make sure you're doing that. So now it's time to recognize those individuals from our first case manager cohort. We have two categories, three categories, so to speak, but we have categories similar to the outreach cohort, but we have individuals in this case manager cohort who really exemplify the stick-to-itiveness. What you have to understand about our case manager cohort is that it was started last May in 2019, and so it has extended all the way a year in advance, a year into what we currently face, having met every month for 4 to 5 hours, engaging in deep dives. And so these individuals had to be very committed, very resilient, and very professional in their approach to their journey at the academy. And so I would like to present first and foremost the Resilience Awards to Jeremiah Brown from UCAN, Miss Priscilla Symes from Target, Miss Lynette Acosta from Also, and Miss Latasha Henry from INVC, as well as Mr. Micah Tafoya from Precious Blood. These individuals showed up and showed out each and every month, and we all should recognize and highlight their accomplishments. Congratulations, case managers. Thank you so much for sticking with it. We have one more award for our case managers, and it is awarded to a young lady who was both professional and who had perfect attendance for the entire year while we were doing the case manager, our first case manager cohort. Miss Cierra Lee from UCAN, she showed up on time each and every deep dive, each and every monthly meeting, each and every time she was called upon in virtual community. She also had a stellar exit interview. And so I want to make sure that we recognize just her hard work that goes into case management and the hard work that Cierra has put into the work that she does for those and her participants through UCAN. Thank you so much, Cierra, and thank you so much to all 6 of our case managers who are graduating with us this evening. Congratulations, CM1. You have begun to pave the way, a really strong pathway for those to follow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Job well done, both C5 and CM1. 1, 2, 3, boom.
My name is Cierra, and I'm with the also organization. We serve Humboldt Park and West Humboldt Park. And working, like even getting this job, starting out working with the flip, it was the best thing that happened to me. So once I got into the cohort, it got real deep for me or whatever. I gained so much different relationships. I really want the type of person that really likes to kind of meet new people or really be up for it. But I see the cohort has made me, get comfortable with it, because it's like everybody I met, it's like everybody want me to do good. Like they pushes me. Like we all as a team, regardless of us being in different organizations, like we all is still one team. And it's like it's genuine love. Like it's like I love it.
My name is Donnell Gardner. I work at Chicago Crade. I'm the lead outreach worker out there in West Pullman and Roseland. Cohort 5, Metropolitan Peace Academy. Well. I learned a lot dealing with other people from communities just like mine. And being at Metropolitan Peace Academy showed me that it's outreach workers that's going through the same situations that I'm having. So to share each other experiences and what we're going through and know that somebody else is in the same situation as you in, that showed me a lot. It also gave me the know that the seeds are being planted to better our community, that we is trying as a people to better our community. And I want to thank her and her whole team, Jesus, the professors, for all that they provided for us to put this together like this. Because without them, we would know how to plant the seeds. And I just want to commend everybody for Cohort 5 for coming, engaging, and just sharing all the life situations that they shared. And that made us a better and a different cohort from others. And with the cohorts that came before us and the cohorts that came after us, together we can make Chicago a better and safer place. Peace out.
My name is Carolyn Freeman, and my organization is Project Hood. And my experience with Cohort 5 and all of the people that have been in my class with me was just wonderful. The importance of the work was felt with every interaction or encounter, and every person that was brought in to speak to us was exciting. I was enlightened, and I felt the importance of the work and the appreciation of those on the front lines who were doing the work. Each day in the class was refreshing because it was more than just outreach and violence interrupters, extra help, or whoever came. We were professionals and with tools to really do the work. When I think of Cohort 5, I think of camaraderie, togetherness, and caring for each other. The lessons that was taught to us were just phenomenal. And it was so easy to talk to everybody. And because I'm not a person that tells personal things, but in this class, you just couldn't help it. It was just wonderful. And I'm so glad that I was with Cohort 5. Very glad. And I appreciate you, Vanessa, so much, because no matter what, even when we got nervous or whatever it was, you always was there to comfort us, I appreciate you, Jesus, because you were always there and we could talk to you, and it wasn't like you were above us or anything. And I just appreciate the work that you do. And I love all of you all.
My name is Imad Saadeh. I work with SWAP on the south side of Chicago. I've been doing outreach for at least on a voluntary basis since 2005. I was released from prison in 2004. Until I heard about CP4P as soon as I got hired, and I was excited to come into the cohort. I was notified. I actually missed the first day, but I've lived a life of chaos and confusion most of my life. And not until this cohort and being around people that I relate to did my life start to come into a correct mold where I feel like there's a purpose in this life for me. I have a child who's 6 years old, and And my goal is to make life a lot better for her and kids her age, kids our future. And I believe that CP4P actually gave me the way, the know-how, even though I've been through a lot and I know a lot, I realized from CP4P that I had a lot more to learn. And I learned it from Sister Vanessa and her comrades, but I learned so much more from the comrades I was with. CC, Charlie Wally, these names, they ring in my head daily, every day. After I leave them, I constantly think about them. It was a safe space, a space where I learned a whole lot. And it feel like my arms have been stretched and touched every side of the city of Chicago. And this is my experience with CP4P. And I thank the organizers and the people who put this together, because it's done a lot for me.
Cohort is actually an ancient military group or unit band together. Cohort 5 is a band of 35 different personalities bound together for one common goal, which is to create a beloved community. I recollect on 18-week think tank of wisdom, knowledge, compassion, commitment, and personal experience that has shaped us into who we are as outreach. The MPA is a boot camp for outreach, preparing us for wars ahead and professionalizing our profession. The highest heights are gained by those who reach the deepest depths. Therefore, Cohort 5 is the embodiment of restorative justice made manifest to create that beloved community.
I want to say my name is Robert Jefferson. I represent Breakthrough Urban Ministries Violence Prevention Outreach Team. When I got out of Cohort 5, oh my goodness, is a revitalization for me. Cohort 5 revitalized who I am. Cohort 5 helped me understand who I am and what my ability is for outreach. I always did outreach and wasn't recognizing that I was doing outreach until I became an outreach worker, until I became a flip worker for Breakthrough. Then I became an outreach worker. So upon becoming an outreach worker, everything that was instilled in me with the good heart and taking care of people just helped me blossom even more, because I'm making my business to help people, to do what I can to help them, and just to be genuine with what I do, because I love doing outreach. I love the Metropolitan Peace Academy for the love, the genuinity, the respect, the fruitful teachings that I received from you all. And I mean you all, whoever that came through them doors or been on the Zoom with us since Cohort 5 existed, I appreciate everything about you all. And I just want to say thank you all, genuinely from my heart, Ms. Vanessa, Mr. Joe Wayne, Jesus, Imad, Brother Red, and Miss Cierra and Carolyn. It's an honor and a blessing to be sitting here with you all doing this presentation. And I'm just honored, man. And I just want to say I'm going to continue to grow and do what I can to help the city of Chicago with this plague and this violence that's going on throughout the city of Chicago with this violence prevention. And whatever way I can help, I'm going to do it outside of violence prevention. So I'm willing and ready to rock and roll, y'all. Y'all rocking, I'm rolling.
All right, good people. Thank you so much for those reflections. It really highlights the time that you've had at the Peace Academy. Once again, we really enjoy building community, and as it brings the best out in our cohort members. And so thank you so much for providing those authentic experiences from each and every one of you. Now, the time that we've all been waiting for is here. It is time to award our certificates. So as I call each name, make sure that you send them some virtual celebration. Write it in the chat. Send them some booms. Let's see you get some reactions. Rounds of applause as we call the names of those 35 men and women who have worked so diligently over the course of the last 18 weeks, and for our case managers have been in MPA since May of 2019. So they have been going through MPA for 1 year. So let's make sure that we celebrate our outreach workers as well as our case managers as I call their name. Sound good? All right, great. So our first graduate is Brother Najim Anderson from Imad. Next, we have Mr. Jelani Bennett from Target Roseland. Mr. Tavares Brown from INVC. Mr. Torrance Cooks from Activists Incorporated. Mr. Darrell Dakers from One Northside. Brother Imad Saadeh from Imad. Congratulations. From Enlace, Chicago, Mauricio Diaz. Make sure you're sending in that virtual love. Make sure you're sending them that encouragement. These are our outreach workers. They are critical to what is going on in our communities. They are the value add. So as we continue to celebrate Cohort 5 and recognize our first case manager cohort, make sure you're sending them those rounds of applause and that stamp of approval. Next, we have Miss Carolyn Freeman from Project Hood. Congratulations, Sister Carolyn. From UCAN, we have our resident chef, Mr. Sean Fuller. Congratulations. Next from CRED, we have Donnell Gardner, who we call Charlie Wally. Congratulations, Charlie Wally. Also from One Northside, we have Dion Geiger. Congratulations, Dion. And the winner of the Professionalism Award from INDC, we have Ms. Pamela Givens. Congratulations. Mr. Samuel Red Goodman from INDC. Also from Team INDC, we have Mr. Tyree Head. Team Target Roseland is led by none other than Mr. Ramon Cook. And from UCAN, we have Mr. Robert Jefferson. Congratulations, Rob. From Parisian Associates, we have Wilbert King, affectionately known to us as Dr. King. Are we sending that virtual love? Do I see booms coming through down below? Are you sending those thumbs up? Do they know how much we applaud them? Congratulations, Cohort 5. As we continue, we have Mr. Pedro Lopez from New Life Centers. From Activists Incorporated, we have Sharonda McAtee. Congratulations, Ms. McAtee. You did it. Miss Cierra McGee from Also. Congratulations, CC. Pat yourself on the back. From INDC, we have Marcus Moon Mitchell. Mr. Resiliency. From Team Target Roseland, we have Miss Marva Maudalise. From Breakthrough, we have Jeremiah Nelson. Congratulations, Jeremiah, you made it. And from UCAN, we have Mr. Eric Wright. Mr. Louis Salcedo comes to us from INDC, Precious Blood. From Team Also, we have Mr. Nelson Torres. And from INDC, we have none other than Mr. Andre Draper Williams. And also from our team Target out in Roseland, we have our most improved representative, Mr. Carlos Wilson. And we also have from Imad, Brother Tony Wood. These 29 individuals represent our graduates from our outreach cohort, and we will now recognize those 6 individuals who represent the first case manager cohort through the Metropolitan Peace Academy. Let's recognize Ms. Latasha Henry from INDC. We would like to recognize Ms. Cierra Lee from UCAN. From Team Target, we have Ms. Priscilla Sines. Are we making sure we're sending out the love? Are we making sure we're sending out that celebration? Okay, I'm just checking. All right, Jeremiah Brown. Jeremiah Brown from UCAN. He's also a part of our first case manager cohort. Congratulations, Jeremiah. And from team also, we have Lynette Acosta. Congratulations, Lynette. And last, but certainly not least, we have Mr. Michael Tafolia from Precious Blood. Let's give a round of applause and a stamp of approval for our 35 graduates, our 35 outreach workers and case managers who have collectively, successfully made it through MPA. Congratulations, everyone. I know you all are waiting for the boom. 1, 2, 3, boom! Remember your impact, good people. Remember your impact.
Congratulations again, Cohort 5. Who would have thought that when we started 2 years ago that we would be talking about the success of our 5th cohort? And so our team is led by an individual we all know and respect. Our Director of Metropolitan Peace Initiatives team, Mr. Vaughn Bryant, will join us in delivering our final remarks.
Thank you, Vanessa, and congratulations again to Cohort 5 of the Metropolitan Peace Academy. I trust that you've learned a lot, built some lasting relationships, and had fun in the process. While I didn't get a chance to spend a lot of time with you, I hope you know that I care about you, I believe in you, and I work every day on your behalf to sustain the work and create the best conditions for you to do the work. I ask that you continue to be lifelong learners and that you understand the system in which we work. Once you understand it, you can successfully navigate it and, more importantly, influence it in the right direction. I look forward to seeing the impact you guys are going to continue to make on our communities in Chicago, making it the safest city in the United States. I'm going to turn it back over to Vanessa to close us out. Thank you.
I hope you all have enjoyed our virtual celebration as we recognized our 35 graduates, our outreach workers, and our case managers who have successfully completed their time at MPA. I would like to thank the Metropolitan Family Services team for your continued support of MPA and for crafting the virtual celebration. To our funders, all the booms, all the celebrations, and the cohorts would not even be possible without your continued support and generosity. We enjoy when you visit MPA, and we look forward to you returning either virtually or face-to-face. To the Metropolitan Peace Initiatives team, it is an honor to be in this work with you. I think we all know that we are a part of something bigger than ourselves. I look forward to continuing this work with each and every one of you. To our partners, CP4P, thank you so much for your encouragement and your trust as MPA continues to grow with each cohort. To our MPA facilitators, thank you for your professionalism, flexibility, and willingness to stand in front of your peers. And to our field managers, our field management team, you are the evidence that the vision of the Academy is working each and every day. And to Dr. Troy Hardin, thank you so much for being a thought partner, a constant tuner, as we continue to grow this vision that is called the Metropolitan Peace Academy. And as we close this evening, I thank you all so much for joining us
and our celebration of our 5th outreach cohort and our celebration of our very first case management cohort that has come through the Metropolitan Peace Academy. And as we continue to build the beloved community, let's remember that we have a realm of control that we have an impact in, but collectively, we can make an impact across the city of Chicago. 1, 2, 3, boom!